Hey everyone, welcome back. Part 2, water truck build. Have you ever heard of the term farmerizing something? Because I'm pretty sure that me and my brother did it today. Peterbilt wanted a little too much for a Y pipe for our exhaust system. So, being engineers that us farmers are, we built it out of square tubing. 1/8" wall. Shouldn't rust out anytime soon, I hope. But pretty simple. You know, it might not flow quite as well, but whatever. It's not like we're going for highest horsepower. Maybe we are, I don't know. But basically just cut a hole in there. That'll be our inlet. 5" pipe, 3 inches long. Be able to slip that flux pipe over it, clamp her down. Basically did the same on the ends, and then what you just saw was me welding in these little triangle pieces. Oops, I got my magnet in there. That would have been bad. But sealed up nice. Should work pretty good. And if any of you guys saw my first video about this truck, our plans changed and we were going to put the tank up front, but now we're going back to our original plan and we're going to put it back there. So everything I just did of taking the drop axle off is going to have to be put back on behind the drivers here, which isn't a big deal. There's holes there and plumbing's already ran, so it's not that big of a deal. But we'll have the tank back there, and then we'll have decking up here. So me and my brother are just working on getting these stacks put on. We're going with these elbows here. So basically it'll be from that square tubing, the ends of the square tubing, into here with a little bit of flex pipe so stuff can move a little bit. And maybe we want to mount that by rubber, so hopefully it has a chance to move some. But since this is a cab over, you can't mount your stacks on the cab because the cab hinges forward, so you got to build a completely new bracket. So that's what that iron's for. We'll build a heavy bracket to hold the stacks up, and since we're going to be having our deck up here, we're going to be working on it a lot. So out in the field, we don't want to like accidentally slide something into the back of the cab. So we're kind of going to build kind of a bang board into that bracket to hold the stacks. It'll be, I don't know, you guys will see it, but we'll have a couple pieces going across to tie it together with lights in it and stuff, so it'll look all right. But it's getting late. It's like 7 o'clock, so it's time to head home. See you tomorrow. Hey, got some work done. Finally. Got our, I guess, Y pipe square tubing mounted up, and we're starting on this, get our stacks support built. So pretty simple. Brother made a couple brackets to bolt to the frame there, and then coming up here with square tubing, and then I'm gonna lop this off and weld that to these, and then have our main support coming up here, and then up hold our stacks. So it should work pretty good. We got the tank mounted, virtually mounted. I mean, got our holes and everything except the back. We'll have to, once we get the tank off here, we'll have to take the mag drill and drill those out. So should be simple to get that done, and then tank will be done, so that'll work. Got our drop axle on here, all plumbed back up. And we actually, this drop axle had sat outside for like years, open with no valves or anything on it, so we had those airbags were just full of water. So took those off, drained them out, and got them put back on. So that's done, so that's nice. And so we'll keep at this thing and hopefully get these stacks done in the next day or two, and or the stack mount done, and then we'll start working on this deck and get the deck built, and then it's just getting a pump, getting it plumbed, and have to pull the tank back off and drill those holes, and then have to paint the frame again, or I guess not again, but from where we added on the frame, I never got any paint, so we gotta do that yet. So that should be pretty simple. Just, I still gotta buy a pump, buy all of our plumbing, which is gonna take some time and some figuring on what we want, but shouldn't be too bad. It's pretty simple stuff. And since this is an old fuel tank, it has a bunch of like emission stuff, and make sure you're hooked up before it opens the vents, and so you got to get rid of all that. So I I think this was the vent tube here, so I lopped that off and cut the hoses, so hopefully that'll be just a straight vent. I don't know, we got to figure out what runs what. I don't know if you guys have any ideas, but this is like, we gotta turn this fitting around, but we're not sure what that is. Like this deal, I have a feeling that has something to do with the vent, but I'm not sure. So if any of you guys know, drop a comment or something. I don't know, this is the first fuel tank I've ever dealt with, so it shouldn't be too bad. I'll have another update in a little bit, or all tacked up. Gonna wait till we get the bed on there to get the bed all designed before we weld or solid. But got some lights, holes cut in there, and it kind of sucked because we didn't have we thought we had a 4.5-inch hole saw, because that's what it calls for to cut those 4-inch lights, but we couldn't find it, so we ended up torching them out, which isn't that bad, but still, they're kind of jagged, might take some cleaning up, but we got that all done. So, we got to get support built here, because this is where it'll clamp, and then we're going to take this off, this tip, and cut about, I don't know, we haven't decided fully, but 2 or 3 feet off this mid pipe, slide it on to get the tip a little higher, somewhere around 13 feet. So sorry I'm hiccuping, I don't know why I'm hiccuping, but that way we can have nice and tall stacks, and we got pieces laying around in the shop, might as well use them up. So those will get cut in half or something like that and thrown on there and get those tips up a little higher. But basically that's it. Pretty simple design, and I think it'll hold up nice. So, and we made it so it'd bolt on here, so that way to pull this apart we can get our stacks off, get this off, unbolt this from the frame if we ever need to, which might happen one time. But we'll get this deck built hopefully next week, start on it next week, and then get that built, pull the stack support down, and weld her up, paint it, get the deck all done, welded up, painted. We'll be good to go. We're gonna build railing around it, that way nothing falls off and everything's a little more secure. That way we don't have to tie everything down. Get this deck built. So that'll do it for this update. Catch you in another one.